everybody to the tail of the field trying to roll up in. They'll wait till they get past the pylon before that green flag will come out. They get it thrown at the start-finish line. The radio will come to life with the spotters telling them when to go green, and we are lining things up. I'll have my eye on the starter. We got it, folks. Green, green, green for USF2000, their final race of a triple header. And they'll go 3, and what did I say? Maybe 5 wide, 4 for sure. Who tries the top side? 4 wide is what it's going to be. Does Weldon come out with the lead? I think he does. A little bit wide at the apex. Nicely done for Oliver Weldon. He will take the lead through 2, 3. They are double file all the way back through. One driver dropping a wheel coming out of the corner. Otherwise, settling in nicely. Liam Loiacono puts that very bright yellow. Jay Howard driver development powered by ECR car to the inside of 4. Everybody's clean and green so far. If you go to the right side of the chicane, take the escape route, you have to give a couple of spots back. Everybody, Alan, getting through the opening lap.
Here's a challenge for the race lead as they head down to turn number 7. Can Weldon defend there around the corner? Looks like so far so good, and everybody cleanly through that second heavy braking zone. Look at this scrap up front.
That might be Majman actually into the lead right now, Brad Majman, because it's the white halo of Weldon to pick that out. And yeah, we are underway. What a fantastic start there. Brad Majman goes to the lead. Weldon slotting back into second. Hey, listen, clean opening lap is fine. You don't need to lead the opening lap. Get into the battle here. It's such a long straightaway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The draft always plays a huge role. Trying to go side by side through turn number 12, not the easiest thing to do. Loiacono going to dive it up the inside there at Garzone too, the blue and white car of Garzone. And Loiacono not quite able to make it work. Thought better of it, checked back up. And that's brought one of the other Pabst cars in as well. Eddie Beswick up on the wheel in a big way.
This knot now racing back for about 6th, making 5th position as they head to the braking zone for turn number 1. They'll be a little too wide there. One car locking up a couple of spots ahead, but everybody through okay. And a couple of positions changing hands here in turn 2.
Yeah, Lucas Nanji was thinking about going there to the inside of Loiacono, but thought better of it, and that move, that little checkup, I believe, allowed the 94 of Ayrton Kahn to get in. So good start there for Ayrton Kahn. He gets up another position as well. But hey, right now, in beautifully dry conditions, gorgeous day, 65 degrees trackside. The drivers have handled these opening couple of laps fantastically. We see a bit of a defense from Nanji coming down the Hulman Straight, the Hulman Boulevard into turn number 7. He'll defend to the inside. Watch this one.
Trouble.
Two drivers together there. The driver in the middle got sandwiched, and 2 drivers getting together. That looks to be the number 44, I believe.
Yep.
Tough one for Ryan Janetta there. I think he might have been just on the outside. The driver who went to the inside, up and over, and then into the side of him. Janetta still able to continue, but you can kind of see that thing evolving, Alan, when they tried to go 3 wide through the corner.
We've got somebody off the pace in turn 9. I believe that might be full course yellow here. Yeah. Might be Joao Vergara, car 3, that stopped over in turn 9. And so we'll get the first full course yellow of the race from that contact in turn 7, eventually unfolding down the race course.
All right, let's have a look at what happened here. We talked about the incident in turn number 7. Better shot from the outside. Watch one of the drivers coming diving down the inside. Doesn't make the corner, up and over top. Yeah, that was, and you can see Janetta was just the collateral damage on that. Trying to pick up which driver. It might have been one of his teammates, actually. It could have been Vergara. Yeah, I think it was actually Vergara. Yeah. So the number 3 of Vergara tried the big move down the inside, wasn't able to get it woed up or turned at the apex. Remember, when you're running the inside line, you have to brake earlier and harder to be able to make the corner. You've tightened up that corner. He just went straight through. It looked to me like probably right rear contact with the driver, then up and over and into Janetta. So that was essentially VRD on VRD crime.
Another look at it here, 3 wide into the corner, and the sandwich and the hop.
Trying to pick up which car was involved in the middle there. That might have been one of the Pabst racing machines. Yeah, I think that might have been Nanji. Tough one for Lucas Nanji.
Yep. Yeah, tough break there. So first full course yellow of this 3rd race of the weekend will slow the proceedings and send the AMR safety team out to work to try and help that stranded Joao Vergara machine away from turn number 9. It looked to me like Giannetta was able to drive away and continue on, which considering his car was the one that took the big hop in the air, I was a little shocked by that.
Interesting, because he was on the outside there. I think he figured he was going to be able to have the advantageous position and have the inside for turn number 8. Instead, his teammate came across and essentially sideswiped him. There's Giannetta there in the number 44, and It's not crowd, but it looks pretty good. So shout out, again, this is a Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis, so shout out to Tatuus for a strong race car as it continues here. Maybe a little flutter, I think, maybe of the floor there, the left side floorboard. That's a potential. They'll have a look at that. They may even bring him in with time here. Why not bring him in, have a look over the race car? You're at the tail of the field, but
yeah, sure.
Got to feel bad for the drivers involved in that one. I think it might have been Lucas Nanji as well that got involved in that. So tough for sure for both Ginetta and Vergara. Ginetta will have a chance to rebound. See if they bring him into pit lane. They do not at this point here.
So, Rob, you follow this series all across the country and all of their stops. This is the 5th of 18 rounds over 8 weekends across the country for the USF2000 series. Let's talk about the cars that people are watching race here today and some of the specs and what sets them apart.
Yeah, again, built by Tatuus in Italy. It's a spec series, Tatuus chassis, Continental tires, the engines, all the inline 4 2-liter power plants built by Elite Engines up in West Bend, Wisconsin. Steve Knapp, former Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. He and his son Logan on charge of that program, building the engines for all 3 of our series in the USF Pro Championships. But 160 horsepower. And again, as you move your way up to USF 2000, probably about 200 horsepower. It's our 160 for our juniors, and then about 260, 270 for the USF Pro 2000 cars. So around 200 horsepower. And we actually took restrictor off just last year that's allowed the car to kind of come alive a little bit. So the USF 2000 machine, again, it's been around for so long. You use the word Formula 2000 or USF 2000. If you're a historian, you're going back to early 90s when the USAC USF 2000 program was running. Dan Anderson, who runs this program, Anderson Promotions, was part of the action back then as well. So this particular formula, the Formula Continental, whatever you want to call it, has been around the sport for many, many years.
And these cars will race, as you mentioned, not just on road courses, but they'll run the oval over at Raceway Park coming up here 2 weeks from now, right? Thursday and Friday night of 500 week.
Exactly that. Yeah, our concept is to give these drivers all the experience they would need when they're moving up to Indy Next or IndyCar, right? Because obviously one of the calling cards of IndyCar is natural terrain road courses, ovals, and street circuits. So we do exactly that for these drivers. USF 2000 at St. Petersburg and at Markham. The single oval event at IRP, part of the Carb Night Classic. Qualify on Thursday, race on Friday. And then the natural terrain circuits as well. We get to go to some fantastic ones like the one here at Indianapolis, Road America, Mid-Ohio. We're very lucky to go to some fantastic racetracks. The USF Pro 2000, let's add one more oval, and this year we'll go back. First time since 2013, we're going to go back to the Milwaukee Mile. That is going to be so much fun to watch these guys, because there's been some tests there, and the drivers have already said it's pretty wild on that track. Back to green flag racing, and as we know, attacks always come on the restarts. Oliver Weldon goes to the outside of Majman. He's going to pin him down there as they work their way through. Martella and Cooley right there as well. How about 4 wide? Look at this, Cooley all the way around the outside. Does he make it? No. He's going to drop into the grass. He'll drop a wheel. He'll lose 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Likely able to stop the bleeding at Wesley Gudler. There is the number 92 of Anthony Martella trying to find a way through. You got to be smart here, because you can see Weldon very aggressive trying to get his way through. Man, a man is right. Look at Garzone trying to get a good run through there. Saw them checking up. Allen got a good run out. It's going to be the fight down to 7.
Yeah, the crossover out of 4 for Oliver Weldon. Wow, took my breath for just a second. Here they are now, the braking zone, turn number 7. Who comes out the other side? It's still going to be Majman holding on to the race lead.
Good stuff. And 3 wide at the very tail of the field battling as well. I love it. These guys are all fighting it out here. So many rookies in our program here for this year. 16 different rookies. New this year, this weekend rather, obviously Oliver Weldon. But there's that exclusive Autosport car, the number 90 of Evan Cooley, trying to come back. He was thinking about going around the outside to try to get the lead in 1. Didn't quite work. Didn't go to the escape route, which is probably why he's able to get back on the racetrack. Lost a couple spots, but could most definitely fight his way back forward here. But the scrap up front with Brad Majman and Oliver Weldon is a good one right now. A bit of a 3-driver breakaway here now as well. That might be Beswick up in there. So there's Beswick right in there. Yeah, he's in the middle of the fight as well as they come back across the line. We'll put lap number 6 or 5 rather in the books. Majman, Weldon, Martella 1, 2, 3. Then you go back to the battle between Liam Loiacono, Eddie Beswick, Sebastian Garzone, Evan Cooley, and Ayrton Kahn.
So lock up there going into turn 1 for Weldon, but he's able to hold on to the 2nd spot. Here this fight again for 6th position as the black car with the red wing there, 23, Eddie Beswick from Australia, trying to hang on to a spot, being challenged by Sebastian Garzone, trying to work his way to the front in this race after finishes of second and first in the weekend's first two races.
Yeah, Garzone's the point leader with a pretty good gap, so we talk about the fact that he can kind of maybe not quite be as risky, but these guys are drivers. Let's be real. They put the helmet on, the visor goes down.
That's right.
And they're trying to go to the forward. You can be sure that David Martinez, co-owner of D-Force and one of the driver coaches, is on the radio. Listen, be smart. Let's get that result. Let's not get a DNF. Be smart here. Garzone's a veteran and gives that position up. They keep digging. A lot of great battles throughout the field. Look at this one coming through turn number 11. I love that as well. Great scrap there with a number of drivers. Wesley Gundler, Lucas Nanji, Thomas Nordquist, Gabe Kahn as well.
Everybody fighting for every spot on the racetrack they can get. Big mover in the race so far would appear to be Liam Liacono, driver running in fourth place now. This is driving car number 6, a familiar-looking paint job. 18-year-old from Australia, driving for Jay Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR. And he's worked his way up in the opening couple of laps. Has a shot at a podium if he can keep moving forward.
Still a long way to go, too, Alan. 6 laps down, 9 laps remain. Of course, our USF Pro 2000 drivers getting suited and booted right now back at the paddock. They'll be up for their 25-lap race right after we finish up the podium presentation here. There's the scrap with Wesley Gundler, Lucas Nanji, Thomas Nordquist, and Gabe Kahn. That is the fight from, I believe, 10th back into 12th or 13th. So a good fight there. And listen, again, driver development series. I don't care where you are running on the racetrack. When you're in the middle of a fight, you're learning. You're in that dogfight, that battle. Sometimes I'll say, if you're back outside the top 15, I don't want you wrecking each other, but put the pressure on the guy in front of you to try to force him into a mistake. You're learning. When you're back outside the top 15, you're learning year. Learn how to put the pressure on. Learn how to force him into dropping a wheel, making that mistake, going too deep into turn number 1. If you keep the pressure up, you're going to get gifted an overtake as opposed to having to force one.
And learn what doesn't work. We saw that from Evan Cooley earlier, right?
Yep.
He tried that move into turn 1. He wasn't in the right position to get the angle right into the corner, gave up some spots. Okay, I won't do it that way again next time.
Will we get our third different winner on the season? Victories for Sebastian Garzone and Anthony Martella thus far. Brad Majman leading the way. And they've got a bit of a lead now. Majman, Weldon, and Martella have got a nice little gap ahead of Liacono and Beswick. So the two Aussies, Liacono and Beswick, trying to close up, but they got an Aussie leading already. Look at this big move to the outside. Weldon throwing everything at him, Alan.
Weldon's looking a little antsy there, in behind the race leader, down the end of the straightaway. Got one off in the grass and took the shortcut around turn 1.
Race control will look at that. If you make a move like that and gain positions, they're going to ask you to give that back. If you don't make the corner, can't make the corner, normally you're instructed to go take the escape route, which you'll probably lose about 5 or 6 spots if you do that. This driver, of course, not able to make it right across the grass and came back on. Not quite sure. That might have been Beswick, actually, guys. I think he's right there in front of Liacono now. We'll see how they come back through. Look at everybody right in the middle of the fight there. I'm loving this battle here between Cooley and Kahn and Gundler. And being Bossoff as well.
It's really tightened everything up from 4th on back, as there's not of cars here. Coming around the corner and watching that race up front as well, as Oliver Weldon appeared to have a good run at Brad Majman last time by, down to turn 1.
And now, and it's what I said, right? Just keep putting the pressure on. If you're Weldon, just keep putting the pressure. You try to get him to lock the tire up a little bit. Try to get him to overcook. Maybe not get the turn into 7. Absolutely correct. So you can get that better run. Or again, that maybe a big run coming out of turn number 10. Keying back on the Liacono Beswick Beswick battle with Evan Cooley in there now as well. Evan Cooley's got himself back up, trying to recover here for another podium.
And everybody darting around trying to find their spot in the braking zone. The crossover there through turn 1. That was Garzone looking to see if he can get around the driver in front of him. So far, not happening.
Oh, that was Beswick who made the big move to the inside. Look at Cooley trying to run the outside of Beswick. Does he have enough of a run? No. Has to cede that position because, of course, you got to get the single file coming back through the chicane. I guarantee you Cooley was just waiting for the two Aussies to take each other out. They were wheel to wheel coming out of 1 over to 2. Liacono and Beswick.
Check it out, 3 wide here to the braking zone, turn 7. Last time that happened, it didn't work out so well. Looks like everybody cleanly through this time.
Sometimes somebody's got to give it up, and Beswick checked up out of that one, knew that it could have got ugly there. And here comes Kahn through as well. So I think Kahn getting by Beswick. Great run here for Ayrton Kahn. But look who's coming up into the fight. That's Vian Bossoff as well for the new PFH Racing team. A newly renamed team, Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing Development. They've had Elliot Cox in the car, second year with Vian Bossoff. Andy O'Gara running that program. Of course, the O'Gara family, very well known. Midget, sprint cars, you name it. Andy's trying to build this program here. Great to have them with us. And excited to see how they're going to be able to grow. Chad and Emily Peterman coming on that program.
So here's the best race for a spot at the moment. Headed down the straightaway across into turn number 1. And that even settles out single file as they run in the draft. So we'll go back up front for just a minute to Majman, Weldon, and Martella.
Martella slowing. Martella is slowing on the racetrack. He's pulled off to the right side of the track. Martella, an issue. Not sure what happened to Martella, but coming out of the corner, he slowed right up out of turn number 1, slowed over to 2, and that car is stricken. Oh, he's already got 2 DNFs on the season, coming off a victory in race number 1 and some kind of a mechanical issue for Anthony Martella here in race number 3.
So the question is he going to be able to get the car to a safe spot and allow us to stay under the green flag? So keep an eye on that and monitoring race control to see what happens there. But the driver that was running in third is out of the picture, and suddenly it's a 2-car race for the top spot.
Yeah, that's going to now move Garzone up into the 3rd position. Loiacono runs in 4th. 5th is Cooley. 6th will be Beswick. 7th will be Kahn. 8th, 9th, and 10th, Bossoff, Gundler, and Nanji. So a horrible situation there again for Anthony Martella. And Alan, there you have it. It's the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. You're at the very top in race 1, the adulation, the excitement of getting the race win. Nothing worse than being behind the wheel of a race car going back on power and having nothing there. So some kind of a mechanical issue for Anthony Martella.
So he was able to get that car to a safe spot on the race course, and we'll be able to stay under the green flag. So there's the race for the lead and the gap back to the 4-wide race for 3rd.
Oh my goodness, look at this right now. Oh, a couple of contact there. I was worried about wheel to wheel. Garzone made the move to the inside, holding off Loiacono. Look who else is up on the fight here right now. That's Eddie Beswick in the number 23 Pabst machine. Outside of 4 is a tough place to try to make a move. This is a tremendous fight here right now. Again, this is for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Big gap back to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th all running together there. Ryan Janetta, 13th, fighting his way back forward after the contact in turn 7 early in the race.
You saw from that last camera shot over there, turn 5 and 6, that Martella had been able to get his car to a safe spot. He's climbed to the machine. He's back behind the wall. And so we stay under the green flag, and the local yellow that was being displayed in that area has been withdrawn. So full green all around the course here, and hot and heavy all the way back through sections of the pack here.
And a quick shout out to Anthony Martella, realizing there was an issue in getting to the right side of the racetrack. Instead of stalling and slowing in the middle of them, maybe diving to the apex of turn 2, quickly got to the outside of the racetrack. You saw a number of drivers have to kind of take evasive maneuvers coming through the corner and seeing him so slow on the exit. The key now, Alan, will we have a battle for the race win? We are 10 laps in. Are we going to make it 11 laps, 4 to go? Majman versus Weldon for the race win, because the fight also for the final position on the podium is going to be, I think, pretty exciting. But do we get a race win battle? Does Weldon have anything for Brad Majman right now?
And so there are the top 2, and it's a 5-second gap back to 3rd. Sebastian Garzone for 3rd as we look even farther back at the scrap that stacks up off turn 1.
Oh, that's Vian Bossoff involved in that one. That was that fight we talked about just inside the top 10. Vian Bossoff looks like he's able to continue, but went around with the contact there.
Looks like everybody's cleared the scene, and we'll stay under green.
Tough. They were having such a spirited battle there, but again, with open wheel racing, it doesn't take much to lock a wheel. You're in a tin top, you can bounce off each other. You've got to give each other room here in these open wheel race cars. It's one of the things a lot of the rookie drivers have to remember, that you just can't be battling wheel to wheel. Lock a wheel and you're going around, or you may be going over. So a big shake up there for the drivers a bit further back. That was essentially, I think we talked about 7th, 8th, 9th on back, Alan. And
kind of spread that group out as well. It took away some of that big pack of cars that were all jostling for that same spot. So the top 2 exiting turn 14 onto the main straightaway and headed for the yard of bricks. 12 laps complete. 3 laps to go in the race. It's Brad Majman and Oliver Weldon separating themselves from 3rd place Sebastian Garzone by 5.5 seconds. But that fight for 3rd, still a pretty good one too.
You know, and you look a little back there, it's Garzone just relaxing right now in third. Can you imagine starting the season off with 5 straight podiums, 3 wins? That's what you're trying to do out of the gate, is pack up a lot of points, get rid of a lot of people that think they may be in championship contention. He's getting it done right now. Great job out front. Liam Loiacono very fast, but the fast lap of the race actually belongs to Eddie Beswick, a 125.9. It's the quick lap that shows he has pace, but it's also a bonus point as well. Most laps led, 1 point, pole 1 point, fast lap 1 point, 30 points for a race win. Brad Majman looking to add those on, but Oliver Weldon trying to steal that away.
So third place Garzone has put a couple of car lengths on fourth place Loiacono and fifth place Beswick, but here the race for the lead. Oliver Weldon continues to stalk Brad Majman as we get now to the final couple of laps.
Yeah, Brad's looking really good right now, in control. Even with the draft, Weldon does not seem to quite have the pace to be able to reel him in. That big run down both straightaways. If you got the pace, the draft is going to pull you along in a big way. It's just not playing that way right now. Let's see if Weldon can get a good run out here back onto the front straightaway. It's, again, such a long run. You are not allowed to use the dragon, the serpentine snake coming down the straightaway. You have to hold your line. You are allowed to move as long as it's not in reaction to the driver there. You can move to the inside and even come back to the racing line, but you cannot move in reaction to it. Little brake lock up there on the right front, 2 laps to go. That is going to bring Weldon back into it here.
So the white flag will wave next time the field comes to the Yard of Bricks as Weldon continues to stalk Majman now. Around turn 3, now turn 4, and then the quick left-right, turn 5 and 6, and off on to Hulman Boulevard for the run down to turn 7.
It's a year in USF Juniors last year for Oliver Weldon. Was not able to get on top of the blocks as it happened here in his debut USF2000 race. Brad Majman, veteran driver here in the program, looking really good as more battles further back there on that penultimate run down Hulman Boulevard. Majman hitting all the marks. Weldon pounding those curbs coming through the 7, 8, 9, 10 combination. 2 car lengths coming out of 10.
Just trying to find a way to keep the pressure on, hope for a mistake to get a little help.
A little bit of a right front brake lock up for Majman down into turn number 1 in the last time. Does that help at all for Weldon? He's going to have 1 more run there and 1 more run into 7. Really hard to get the job done anywhere past turn number 7. Weldon's right on him again. He's keeping that car a bit to the right side. Wants some of that air over the right front wing segment to get that downforce. Oh, he's close. Oh, he's close. Now he got to move out to pinch down. Weldon's going to try to make a move on him. Final lap, white flag flying. Weldon to the outside. Majman to the inside. Who goes deep? Who comes away with it? Weldon not quite there. Here comes the over-under. Beautifully done over-under. Side by side coming through. A little wide on the exit there for Majman. He's right on him. Little touch on the attenuator. Weldon throwing everything at Majman. This is good stuff. Mano a mano battle here in USF 2000. The Aussie versus the American. Weldon's going to have another shot here in a long straightaway. Does he send it to the inside? Big stuff for Oliver Weldon. Can he get the job done here? What a fantastic final lap. Here comes the move to the inside. Not quite. May give up a little exit with that mid-corner run. Majman, dropping the right sides into the grass. Every bit of the racetrack for Brad Majman, and he's got a nice little advantage. Looks to me like the Pabst driver could come away with a win here. He looks good coming through 11. Weldon threw everything at him, but it's a 6-car length lead coming out and into the final complex of corners. It would be the 3rd different winner on the season, joining Garzone and Martella. And here he comes. Weldon's going to maybe try 1 more. Now it's a 3 or 4 car length lead. Out of turn number 14 on Aussie, back on the top of the box once again. Here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Brad Majman wins race number 3 for USF 2000, all part of the Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Majman's victory coming across the line ahead of Oliver Weldon. Not by much. Majman with the win, Weldon 2nd, Garzone 3rd, Cooley 4th, Beswick 5th. Cooley able to get by. Another great run for Eric Kahn. Another top 10, stacking him up here now. So impressive.
So your winner is a 17-year-old from Melbourne, Australia. He came into the weekend 4th in the championship, his 2nd year in the series. And here he is, going to have a chance to celebrate a victory at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, listen, he was 5th in race number 2. Where did he finish in race
third
number
in
one?
race.
A little further down. A little further down.
I thought I had him 5th and 3rd in the 2 races.
I got the start here.
Yeah.
No, I mean here this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was strong at St. Petersburg. 15th though in race number 1. Yeah, 15 in race number 1. Listen, it's all about packing them all together, right? Stacking them up, and he'll be thrilled with this one here. Alan, you've called a lot of races in your career. You know that when a young driver gets that first win, sometimes it opens the floodgates. This will take a lot of pressure off Brad Matchman looking at the remainder of the season.
I think that's the key. Take the pressure off.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, we took this step, we stepped up, and we can do this. And the confidence is everything.
Yeah, we talk about confidence and momentum a lot for the young drivers. Here you think about them trying to get themselves into the IndyCar program. They know they need to win races, and when that doesn't come, they start getting frustrated. There are a number of drivers that have mental coaches to talk about what it takes to be able to perform at this level. So for Brad Matchman, working with the whole crew over at Pabst Racing, those teams know how to win. And here are your unofficial results as the top 3 drivers will pull to the yard of bricks. Brad Matchman with his first win. Oliver Weldon coming home in second. Sebastian Garzone, another podium. 5 straight for the Colombian. This kid is off to a fire start for the 2026 season. Evan Cooley, 2 podiums and a 4th. Great points haul for Cooley to keep himself nicely into the top 10. Eddie Beswick ends up P5. Ayrton Kahn, another top 10. He's stacking them up here as well. Liam Loiacono probably deserved better than a P7. He was right up there. But another top 10 for Wesley Gundler as well. Good stuff for Gundler and NV Motorsports. Thomas Nordquist, I've kept beating on him all weekend in the paddock. I wanted to see a top 10. He delivers. P9 for Nordquist. Elias Vignola from last, Alan, up into 10th. Great stuff for him as well. Gabriel Kahn, Eric Holm, 11th and 12th.
All right, so we'll talk to our winner just in a minute as the drivers come down, climb out of their cars, and get organized for their post-race celebration. But the action doesn't stop yet, because the next group of cars will be rolling right out for the next green flag of the weekend.
Exactly that, and as Greg Rakestraw said here before he left the booth, it's essentially watching the entire ladder system, right? Essentially single A, double A, triple A, and Major League Baseball here with the USF2000s, the Pro 2000s. Of course, then moving into Indy Next and IndyCar. Good celebration there for Oliver Weldon. He threw everything at them for sure. But what a victory, again, for Brad Matchman, waiting for him to get out of the race car. Good stuff.
Sebastian Garzone, and here he is, our race winner.
Fantastic job for Brad Matchman. Big hug there from Augie Pabst. The team, the crew is all there. You can just see the relief coming from Brad Matchman. Let's head it down to DJ Clark for the interview with our race winner.
Brad Matchman out of the car. He gets a big one-up into the air. Brad, you had to fight for that one.
Yeah, that was a great race. Got a bit unlucky yesterday, but that was amazing. I wouldn't want my first win to come any other way than that. So that was perfect.
How special is it to get that first win here at the most hallowed of grounds, Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Well, I'm hoping it's the first of many. I'm hoping I can eventually be on the other side of the wall kissing it. But no, it's really good.
Well, we hope for that too, Brad. We wish you luck in the future, and we'll see you on that podium.
Thanks.
Alan, great stuff. And again, there's the statement right there. Every one of these young drivers, they're here for a reason, right? There are racers around that want to try to get to IMSA. They want to try to get to Formula One. The drivers part of this program are thinking Indianapolis. They're thinking the NTT IndyCar Series. And as Brad said, they're thinking about being on the other side of that wall, kissing those bricks.
Absolutely. And great to hear the perspective isn't lost on the young drivers as well.
They know all about it, as does this young driver, Oliver Weldon. Each one of these competitors. There's Sebastian there as well, his brother down to congratulate his sibling on a fantastic drive to second. 3 pole positions did not convert into a race win, but those will come for young Oliver Weldon, no doubt about that. Put a lot of pressure on Brad Matchman over the final couple of laps, just a little short on trying to come away with the win. But after some ups and downs, podium, of course, in race number 2. He ends up with another podium here. Great stuff for Oliver Weldon. 120 green flag for the USF Pro 2000 drivers. They, of course, had their first race of the weekend this morning. They'll be back at it again. Looking forward to a great scrap there. We've got ourselves an awesome championship battle lining up early on in USF Pro 2000 as well. Of course, doing what we can to get our drivers down from pit lane up onto the podium. We'll get a chance to chat with all 3 drivers one more time as the USF Pro drivers in their cars now. We'll bring them around to pit lane momentarily to get them underway. But again, the excitement for these young drivers, you can win races at anywhere on our circuit, Alan, but there's just something special about winning here in Indianapolis.
This weekend to the victory podium we go, in Rob Howden.
Alan, thank you so much indeed. For the final time, our USF2000 drivers up here onto the podium to celebrate their successes here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, all part of the Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Let's bring out our first driver here. He's been on the podium every race so far. Put your hands together for the D-Force driver, Sebastian Garzone. I knew you weren't going to be smiling coming around the corner, but you've got to be happy with another podium. You keep stretching this point lead. Tell me about your race a little bit. Not winning, but it's still back to the podium.
Yeah, like it was the most difficult race that I had in these 5 races. Like in the first lap, I tried to pass someone and he put me in the grass and I lost too much positions. And then when I was trying to pass, like everyone was blocking, but thanks, I passed to third and I have my pace, trying to catch the both leaders, but they were so away, but super happy with the result and standing my championship points.
Well done. Jump up to P3. Leonardo Novella is going to bring out our P3 trophy. This kid is racking them up here right now. The Colombian for D-Force Racing, a massive lead in the points, 5 straight podiums, 3 wins on the season already. Let's grab the driver coming home in second. What a fantastic fight. He tried for it on the final lap, couldn't quite get it done. 2 podiums here, second place today. Put your hands together for Oliver Weldon. Well, I'll tell you, better than the first couple of races, but you threw it at the last lap. I love the fact that you were going for it.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was a fun race. I got a pretty good start, and then Brad was able to get by me on the outside, I think, and I was behind him the whole race. The dirty air is pretty bad here. I had a few chances at a couple moves, but they didn't work, so I'm super happy with the result.
Pretty solid debut, couple of podiums.
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations, hop up on top. Let's bring out another trophy here. Gianfranco de Bellis, the president of Tatuus Race Car, is going to help us out here. We'll get both Gianfranco and Leonardo out for the race winner. But again, a great job for Oliver Weldon. A couple of podium finishes, 3 poles in his debut. But man, great to see this young driver get that win. Always fun to get that monkey off your back. From Pabst Racing, the winner today, Brad Mashman. Brad, hop down here. Let me have one quick one with you. I'm just going to ask you about the emotions. I'm probably settling in a little bit. You're a race winner in USF 2000.
Yeah, finally. It's been the best part of 2 years since I've won, so it's really good. It's a great race. Then had Ollie on my tail the whole time, but I'm really happy.
It was one of those ones you said and talked to DJ that you won that race. It wasn't one of those ones where you kind of walked away with it. You were in the middle of a battle all race long. Yeah,
it was a long 15 laps. No, I got lucky. Was getting good runs off of 4 and then 8, 9, 10 the whole time. So that really helped me. But I was keeping him on my toes. He was back and forth every lap.
Soak this one in. Get up on top of the podium. He is your race winner today, Brad Mashman from Pabst Racing. Let's bring both Gianfranco and Leonardo in here with the P1 trophy. Brad's won a lot of races in his young career. You go back to the Superkarts USA Super Nationals, a big karting victory there as well, but good to see him back on top of the podium here in USF 2000. Again, just a couple of steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series. Thank you, guys. We do appreciate it. And again, what a fantastic podium we have. Again, we talk about the international flavor of this series. You've got your winner from Australia, second place from the United States, third place from Colombia. So many different drivers as part of the international lineup in the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tires. We got another 19 drivers getting set to roll here in USF Pro 2000. They are waiting in the wings for their 25-lapper to cap off our events here this weekend at Indianapolis. Again, just a couple of weeks away from the Carbonite Classic Oval Race out at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Rid of the trophy dance down here, getting things dialed in with the right hats as well. Big thank you to our sponsors, VP Racing, Continental Tire. Got some awesome guests joining us here this weekend too, all part of this Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. All right, let's get that bubbly passed out to the drivers here. Got Sue out of the way, guys. For the final time here, grip it and rip it. Let's have some fun and celebrate your success here at Indianapolis. Excellent job. First career win for Brad Mashman. Another podium for Sebastian Garzone, and second podium as well here for Oliver Weldon. Sebastian Garzone will take the point lead to the Carbonite Classic. Great stuff here today. Folks, amazing. More racing still to come. Don't go anywhere on the broadcast here. In just a few matter of minutes, we'll get back at it with USF Pro 2000.